Feels very like a cheap wood body. Maybe he made it.
More decorative.
Just painted.
Looks cool.
You might have made this. Seems homemade.
Makes
Well, gentlemen, shall we start?
yeah.
Let's do it.
17.
12.
19.
Damn. 12 is low. Okay. So we started off last time where we got flooded by that room number 5. And
A little bit of dead shit on my side. A little bit of swamp water up my butt.
Little bit of intestines in my face.
So yeah, we all got blown back by that. Me and Ballstar used control water to get into the room and discover there was a book that all the water was coming from. We shut the book and all the water disappeared. And then we went back to the library area, the southern part. And then that's where we found the intestine monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Explodey colons. Took a bunch of damage from them. But then discovered the body of Warbach.
Yes.
Belgard. And his journal of wondrous items.
Mm-hmm. Which I realized never went into the group me, oddly enough.
Oh, yeah.
Like I had a whole thing that I copied and pasted, but it never like got into it.
There might be a character limit on the group me messages. I'm not sure.
That must be it. So I have the text document in the
Sweet.
Google Drive. See if
Awesome.
I can like email it to you guys or something.
What was the thing you were trying to send it?
It was a text document.
It was of the journal transcript of all of the crazy items this fool was hunting after.
Yeah. I might just have to download it real quick from my drive. There we go. I'm not sure where to send this to. Can I email it to somebody?
Yep.
Let me email it to somebody. What's an email address?
Just do.
Angel is a centerfold.
There you go. If you want, I know you guys don't have a reference or anything. I can read it to you again if you'd like. But it's up to you. Because I'm sure you guys probably don't remember it because it was super wordy.
Yeah, there were like 7 or 8 different items, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Michael could just forward it to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember anything specific about the journal?
I remember there's something that's supposedly here, the dragon slaying sword or something. It supposedly
Yeah.
sounds like it's probably in this mountain somewhere.
A weapon wielded by Edric von Ibnecht. Something called the Crimson Ruination.
Crimson Ruination.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we're not into it yet. So. Here, I'll just paste it in sections.
In what?
In sections into the group me.
Oh, cool. So, what else happened?
Let's I don't know if I'm missing anything, but I think we just we like took a short rest, and then we were talking about how we were gonna like set traps and stuff to prepare for the flame coming. And so we did that. We set some glyphs of warding, and then we had an unexpected second enemy, Smoky Dragon Boy.
Yeah.
And we had a big fight, and we narrowly won
Mm-hmm.
by the skin of our boots.
Those two like glyphs at the very beginning did like 40 or 45 damage. It was a good chunk.
Yeah, that was probably very helpful in the long run.
So currently, you guys are in the opening part of the Throne of Book, in the lowest part of these like caverns that you've been to. Yeah, you guys are still ragged from the fight, but you're free to do whatever you want.
Should probably carve this dragon up, right?
I wanted to check out the flame sword, because I know you had a
It's you
fire
pick it up.
sword.
It's huge. It it's a two-handed falchion. For him, he just used it one hand, but it's this really kind of wicked-looking curved back sword that kind of ends in this fatter blade at the top that comes to a not serrated point, but like a combat knife point almost, like something that kind of like dips bows in, comes to a point at the very, very edge. It's almost a ridiculous curve. Huge, flat, fat blade, and it's polished to like this mirror sheen. It's pretty heavy, and it's a little bit warm to the touch. It has like this really nice brass embossing all along the handle, all this lathe work that's very, very intricate.
Can I tell if there's like any like magical runes or anything on it? Any
You can try to roll an Arcana check.
Any sign that it's magical?
Hey, Terrence, can you do identify, like ritual it?
I got a 10.
10, you can't really tell that it's any sort of magic.
Okay.
Yeah. Terrence will go ahead and do an identify.
I was wondering if we could retcon, because we got that staff and that knife we found. They were supposed to be magical, maybe. Could you do
Yeah.
those too?
Yeah, let's go ahead and identify those.
Okay. How long does each instance of the identify last?
Let's see.
If you ritual it, it's 11 minutes, right?
We took a long rest, didn't we?
No.
You did, yeah.
Before the fight. We did.
No.
Yeah, and Terrence
Oh,
did.
yeah.
We got all our spells back.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah.
What did you say, Chris?
I said Terrence did not take the long rest either,
Oh, that's right.
so we would have had plenty of time.
Well, okay, so you doing it on the staff?
Yeah, from door 4, the room of the gem.
Yes. Oh no, we did this already, didn't we? It was the staff of the python, right?
Yeah, we did that.
Okay.
What does it do?
You can essentially turn it into a giant anaconda like once a day.
Yeah.
The dagger, I don't think was magical at all.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Alright, so then how about the sword? The sword?
The sword, unfortunately, the sword, although it's very, very good quality, there's no sort of magic on it. It's just like a mirror sheen, just so you might be able to sell it for a decent chunk of money.
Okay.
The metals seem unfamiliar to you. It's hard to find anything that has such a sharp, strong edge and something that's this like mirror reflective.
Can we enhance ability on Ballstar and then strip this dragon corpse?
Yep.
Yep.
It might take you a couple hours.
Yeah, should we? Let's talk to the fools upstairs. Are we, what's gonna happen after this flame's gone? And then.
Yeah, well, why don't you get to work on that, or I guess we could talk to him first.
Okay, well, what do you? If we don't have time, what should I focus on first? In case we got to skedaddle.
Do we do a body?
We're about to loot.
Scales, claws, teeth, blood.
Is one more important than anything else, or?
Can I roll intelligence to tell that?
We didn't get a lot of claws last time, I know. No, we didn't get a lot of teeth.
Yeah, we blew up the head.
Hi, Joe.
Hey.
Welcome to my mom's house. It's like living in a museum.
I'd say try to get the whole heart. That heart have to be preserved into something.
Okay, I'm gonna work on that first then.
Does it have like smoke generating capabilities?
Oh yeah. It might have a special gland somewhere.
Alright, well, what am I doing? Am I doing the dragon breath or the heart first?
It doesn't matter.
Alright, I'm gonna go for the breath. Everybody back up.
Nature check.
Okay.
Enhance ability on him.
Okay. Nice. 23.
23?
Yeah.
You do kind of like a exploratory autopsy on this thing, trying to figure out like where like this weird psychotropic breath could have come from. You start at the throat, which is where you found the initial on the other dragon. You kind of cut through, kind of search through the gore and the viscera for a little while. You don't seem to find anything. Finally, you kind of cut a little bit lower, closer to where the top of the rib cage and like the shoulder bones begin to meet, and you find this gland bladder thing. You almost puncture it, and you kind of learned your lesson from the last time that happened, not to expose any of this to air, because it kind of seems that like that's how some of this works. At least the last dragon is when this gland produced some sort of chemical. It just like did the dragon breath thing. So you find this strange kind of series of organs that it's hard to really tell exactly what they do without like opening them up and kind of identifying them. But from what you can tell, it's one's almost a little bit translucent, like a balloon almost, and it's connected to another strange like bladder thing that it looks like there's some sort of mechanism in the biology that like vaporizes whatever liquids in one, fills up this like other balloon, and then it jets it through the mouth. You do manage to sever that on both ends. Make sure no air gets into it.
It's a sphincter.
Yeah, it's a sphincter.
It's a sphincter.
And you find. I mean, you have the series of organs in your hands. How do you like now that it's severed? How do you not let air get to it?
Oh shit.
Tie it off. Use some string.
Somebody help me. Need another pair of hands.
Normally, like, carcasses that are like dead usually have a very specific smell. This one doesn't smell like that irony, bloody, meaty smell. It's just like, it's almost like putting your hands in like the burnt embers of a fireplace as you take it out. It's just like this like burnt ember smell.
Huh.
Man, I probably have twine or some crap. Yeah, I got a bunch of hempen rope. I'll come over and tie it off.
Okay. You put that in the bag of colding.
Yeah, Quincy, do you want to do? Can you make this like not stay good?
Oh yeah. I'll cast.
Gentle repose.
That's the one.
How long does gentle repose last?
10 days.
Cool. It's not a concentration, right? Sweet.
Are there any? Is there any kind of plant life or anything around?
In here, no.
Okay. Was there outside of the general area?
In the cave network, no.
Okay.
It seems just like a little bit too hot, and there's like this weird sulfury smell in the air. It just doesn't seem like even fungus. There was some fungus in the library. Some of the books have like mold and stuff growing on them.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, into the bag of colding. She go.
Okay.
Go for the heart.
Well, that's probably taking a while. Do you guys want to talk to the fools upstairs while I'm digging through the
Yeah.
dragon?
That will probably take you the better part of 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah. Yeah, hold up.
Okay. While he's busy working on the carcass, you guys go up to the camp with all of the terrified slaves. Again, remember you agreed to take out some of the youngest members, whatever happened. And there was 6 kids, the oldest being like early 20s, youngest like maybe 7 or 8. As you guys approach the camp, the tall, the half-orc woman, the really, really beefy one, seems to be kind of the one who's speaking for the whole group. As you guys come up from the tunnel, everybody stands up from the fire again, and she jogs over to you guys. You guys can't really understand her. You have to do the language.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast that.
Okay. Comprehend languages. You she comes up to you and she holds out a hand and she goes, "It's did it go well? Are they dead? Both of them?"
We're very fortunate. We did not expect the dragon to be accompanying this flame. We did take them both down.
A big smile parts around her partially tusked bottom teeth as she just kind of chuckles. She looks like she goes in for a handshake, but she kind of grabs your arm, pulls you in, just gives you this big, beefy hug.
Ow, 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 ow.
I'm very fragile.
After she's done with that, she pulls in Quincy, does the same, and Alan, the same thing. Holding both of one of your hands in both of her hands, she turns back and she tells the rest of the group. All of their eyes kind of light up. Most of them, there's not like really celebration. It's just kind of like shock and awe. Like they don't really know what to do next.
I go around and give all of them a high five.
They give some more reluctantly than others, but they.
Can we ask them all to sit tight and not raise an alarm or do anything unusual?
Yeah, you communicate that through Terrence, and Terrence tells them the bigger woman, Reika, was that her name? Rakia? Whatever. She nameless NPC one. She nods. Goes, yeah, we will stay quiet here. We'll act like we don't know what's happening. I'm just concerned if anything or anyone else comes back from up above, and they go in there. I don't know what to tell them. We'd be the first focus of whatever anger of those deaths would have caused.
For now, we just need to keep the deaths quiet.
Okay. She turns back and she talks. She goes, do you the couple of the bigger slaves? She goes, do you think we could try to get that door closed? She turns to you guys. Do you think the door is still trapped? If we try to close it, will things happen?
Oh shoot, I wouldn't close it.
Yeah, I think we should keep it open.
If something else comes down here, though, I mean, if the door's closed, at least they'll still assume it's locked.
We have some business yet to take care of down there. We could, but who would you expect to come?
There's a couple other things that are up there. Once you get past the first chamber, it gets unbearably hot. Generally, if there's any sort of, if we're being escorted from the upper levels to the lower levels, we have to be escorted by the flame. He can protect us. That's where a lot of the other slaves are housed up there in this crystal cage. If you're inside the cage, you're fine, but outside it kills any sort of humanoid within moments. I mean, blisters, boiling skin, unless you have the express protection of the flame. He would cast something on you and you'd be okay to walk the rest of the way as long as you were within a certain radius of him. It's impossible to escape here. That's why. As soon as you get out of the glass cage, or out of the crystal cage, you melt.
Well, that's unfortunate. We really just don't want to be locked inside while we're in there finishing our business.
She nods her head. Okay, we can leave it open. I just don't want to alert anything else, especially the big mother.
For sure.
Understood.
If anyone else shows up, tell them that the dragon and the flame went to the under level, and we'll just deal with anything down there.
She nods her head. Are you gonna get the rest of the slaves up above?
Well, we don't have protection from fire either. Didn't one of us... Oh, the water form attempted to go up higher. Right? Your water elemental?
I broke
Yeah.
it open so we could all get through. So we could take can't we take him back the way we got in?
You can take him out that way, yeah.
I mean, it's risky once we actually leave the area, but I think we can move them without being burned alive.
Well, yeah, but he's saying there's a whole cache of other slaves.
Okay.
We really only have the ability to protect ourselves from that sort of heat for about 10 minutes.
Do you remember how long the walk was?
As a water elemental, he was kind of going slowly and cautiously and stealthily. It took him about 30 minutes to get up.
Well, yeah, that's spiral staircase. Okay.
It was more like it was like a tunnel. It wasn't like a
Okay.
staircase.
Gotcha.
But what about the woman? How long does she say is the journey from here to the crystal cell thing?
If you walk at a steady pace, maybe 15 minutes.
Oof.
Running, you could probably get there quicker. We never ran. Beyond that, a few others have seen what's beyond that area. There's a whole other part where the dragon and the nursery is. She turns back. This particularly older man, dark skin, with a big dreadlocked white beard. She goes, You've been in another chamber, right? He kind of nods his head, very shakily. He goes, Can you tell them anything about it? He kind of hangs his head and says, I've only been there once. It was with a few others that were thrown into the giant lake of lava up there as sacrifices. I was made to watch. There's an area where the crystal cages are. If you keep going up, there was a place that was being prepared. It's several small lava pools and a large pool of boiling water. There's a nursery. I assume they were preparing for the wormlings. Beyond that is the belly of the volcano itself. And then there's another chamber off of that, where we were sacrificed and thrown off. Another lake. Some of the belly of the volcano and the lava spills into another lower chamber. It's smaller, but there are cliffs where things are still. There's a ship in there. We didn't get there very far. We were taken to a place with torches, and that's where they were thrown off. I remember there was dragon skeletons. I'm sorry, I don't remember very much.
Was the entire room, that the whole series of locations, was it the same unbearable heat?
Oh yes, it's. I mean, 30. The series of cliffs are up above and tucked into the sides, but it's all just lava underneath. Like it's just this lake of lava, and then there's a series of cliffs with different things on them. Like I said, there's on one of the cliffs. There's a ship. It's I don't know.
Falstar comes upstairs covered in blood. What
You
do
smell like a bonfire.
what do you mean a ship? Like an airship?
No, it's like a sea
A
vessel,
boat?
perfectly preserved. The heat doesn't seem to bother it, but it's
Ooh.
something has carved out of lava. I assume the mom dragon. It looks like it's cresting a wave, but it's all just made of volcanic rock. And the ship is there, and there's other things on the other cliffs I just didn't see.
Well, we've agreed to extract the present company, but I don't know that we have a way to get to the cell.
Can your shamans provide any sort of fire immunity?
She shakes her head. She goes, none of us can do that, or else we would have tried to leave ages ago.
Another thing we have to keep in mind, the more people we have with us, the harder it's going to be to escape.
Well, there are still secrets and riddles in the library. It's possible that we find some way to help us.
Right. Still have business below to attend. I think we should be generally pretty safe. as long as we stay in this area, at least the ancient dragon shouldn't be able to clear these caves.
Terrence, can you ask if they have any idea when like they'll be making rounds or when they can expect anybody, if at all?
She shrugs. She goes, there's other minions, but none of them were as smart as the Flame. He was kind of the driver. There was the other two dragons, but it seems like you guys have taken care of them. The mom dragon, she can go humanoid form if she wants, but she generally doesn't. She spends a lot of time hibernating in the belly of the volcano, and then going into that vault area with the ship.
Well, then let's not disturb her.
So we could be good here for a while if we're lucky.
If the absences aren't noticed, possibly.
All right, I'm gonna keep working downstairs then.
Yes, it seems that we have to conclude our business underground in the chamber and see what we come up with. Because if we don't come up with anything else, we'll simply have to track the survivors in the present company.
So it's like a 15-minute stretch of like extreme heat to get to that area.
No, it's about 15 minutes. Well, it's about maybe 7 or 8 minutes of like regular. It keeps getting hotter, and then once you got to the point where bad things would start happening. That's about 8 minutes.
Okay.
And then she said from where you guys are to where the crystal cages is about 15 minutes.
I don't think any of us could survive it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, is there any kind of like bubble you could make, Terrence? That could like keep us okay?
I don't think there's a mobile barrier that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, I could do the same thing you and Barbalina do, but that's just for me. It only lasts, 10 minutes or so. I don't know, man.
I've got a potion of fly, which gives 60 speed for an hour.
It's pretty tough.
Wait, let's
That
see.
could be really helpful.
I've only got, there's a 1 minute spell here. That would not help.
I have 2 potions of flying that last 10 minutes and 1 that lasts 1 minute.
Yeah. I want to ask the orc lady
But
if
then,
there's any healing that they can provide us after that fight to help us recuperate.
As she shakes her head, she goes, "I'm sorry, we don't have anything."
You should be like full health.
yeah,
I did like 106 hit points of healing
Yeah, the heart of the hero.
at the
Oh,
end.
nice. Okay.
I just, once we get out there, how do we bring all these fools back? Like,
Right. We can't just bust them out and have them walk. They'll just burn alive. Unless we find something in the depths of the library, I think we, tough luck.
yeah.
Right. We still have to figure out that wheel.
Alright, I'm gonna try digging out more dragon pieces. Do you want to give me that good again?
Yeah.
Okay, claws? Or go for the heart?
I thought you did that already.
No, we got the dragon breath. Organ.
Yeah, heart sounds fine to me.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go for the heart.
Here's something I could
Nat 20.
Nice.
say. Sweet.
If the heart completely intact, it's like 9 or 10 pounds. This big, like, It's not like glowing or anything, but it's like a little translucent. It's you just like this weird like black ichor kind of spills out of it as soon as you cut it out, but it's completely well preserved. It's giant muscle.
Bag of holding. What are y'all doing?
Keep going on that. Get its scales, its skin.
Right. It's what I'm doing takes all day. So what are y'all doing while I'm doing this?
All right.
Are you writing the stuff down, or
Okay.
maybe?
I mean, we could just roll for it and say that. Or
Okay. Are you guys gonna give me more spells then?
well, what I can do is I can cast hallucinatory terrain and cause the door to be shut, even though it's really open.
Look like it's shut. Nice. Okay, so I'm just gonna do straight rolls for the other ones.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for claws.
Okay,
That's 10.
10 total.
Yeah.
You only get 2 of the claws that are nice and preserved. The rest are just kind of mangled.
2 claws. Okay. And then I'm gonna go for the hide.
Okay.
16.
16. I'd say you get a pretty good swath of it carved off of it. A lot of the scales, a lot of the other stuff that you try to get off, the scales kind of either fall off or the scales get damaged in some way. I'd say you're able to get about 3 swaths of like dragon hide that's completely intact.
Okay. I believe that's everything.
The scales are incredibly like durable. Like it feels like steel, but it's about the weight of plastic. It's incredibly light, but insanely durable.
Nice.
What was that? The hide?
Yeah.
So where did we leave off in that other set of reading rooms?
You didn't do anything in the southern reading rooms.
Completely checked out the north room. So there's the 3 staircases here. We checked out the whole north area. Didn't check out the south area at all. And there's
So
another door we didn't go through.
We walked in
Yeah.
and we found the body of what's his name with the journal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've
Warbach,
opened none of those doors.
none of them. And then there was also another door that said the Great Hearth.
Yeah. Well, shoot, we've got some health. Should we open some doors?
Yeah.
Cool with me.
All right, I'd like to go into that southern area then, and
By yourself?
No, I'm with him.
Okay, just Quincy and Alan?
Terrence will go.
Okay. So, Ballstar still doing his dragon thing?
is check for traps an ability, or is it just investigation or something?
It's just investigation.
Some classes are proficient in it. So they add
I'm
a proficiency
not.
on it. Right.
Are either of you guys good at investigating?
Terrence is.
Terrence is.
Go for it.
All right, Terrence will check for traps.
Okay, where are you looking for traps?
I was thinking door number 1.
Okay,
I
door,
roll.
door number 1 is at the very far end.
Sure.
Okay. Again, the southern reading rooms, those crystals kind of glow on like fluorescent lights, and it smells terrible in
Oh,
here.
that's
There's
right.
like this like sticky ichor all over the ground. There's like acid marks from the intestine monster things. It smells gross. But you step up to door number 1 and roll, try to see if you can find any traps or anything. What did you get?
I roll a 1.
Oh
A
no.
1? You don't sense any traps.
All right, I will attempt to open door number 1.
Okay. You open it up. You see it's unlocked. The door kind of creaks open. The crystal in the ceiling illuminates instantaneously, ruining your vision for a few moments. When it clears, you see a modest chamber with a series of small rotted desks in rows facing a broken blackboard. The desks are very small and could not fit a full-grown adult, leading you to believe this used to be some sort of classroom. The last 5-inch strip or 5-foot strip of the room has 3 copper circles set into the stone floor in a line. The ceiling and walls have old scorch marks above the circle to the right.
Is there like a main desk anywhere?
No.
Wow, so 3 stones on the ground?
There's 3 like copper circles set into the stone floor in a line. The rightmost one has old scorch marks above the circle on the right.
So are we talking like copper material or indentations where you could insert a disc or something?
Like inlay into the floor.
Okay. Scorch marks.
Can I start looking around the room for...
Yeah, sure. Roll investigation.
4.
4. You're looking very, very closely at the ground. You're kind of like stepping through. Before you realize it, you've like stepped and crossed the threshold of one of these copper circles. You take a quick look up, and it's the one with the scorch mark on the ceiling. You kind of close your eyes. Intention. Nothing happens.
Can we get Terrence to roll Arcana on these circles?
Sure.
Arcana?
Another 1.
Wow.
Get him out of the way.
Yeah, sorry. You find nothing.
Can
These circles don't appear to be magical in any way.
Can I crowbar of Galifar and see if they'll remove from the floor?
Sure. Roll a strength check.
12.
12. It's just not quite enough. You just can't get that crowbar in between like the melded stone and the copper.
Okay, can I, is it just a flat desk or do they open up like a school kid's desk?
They're all like just flat desks.
Okay. Anything written on the chalkboard?
Yeah, actually, now that you kind of are looking around, you look at the chalkboard really quick. There's a very, very small, in chalk, like one of the lower corners that's broken off. That's kind of broken in half and fallen to the ground. Part of the chalkboard that's broken and off from the side. In chalk, it says, "The library has fallen, but my faith in Helm has not. I have saved my students through his grace, but I leave behind a gift for the souls still trapped. Only Helm's light shines in the dark."
Is that just in common?
It was in Draconic, but Terrans can
Or where's Enric?
translate for it.
Enric was like out in the lobby.
Okay.
It's alright, Terrence can do Draconic.
Okay. Helm's Light, does that mean anything to you, old Quince?
Do I recognize that? Is that like a verse or a proverb or something that I might recognize?
It's not like a proverb or anything, but it's kind of like it's always darkest before the dawn. Like you can do the most good when things are the most dire. It's just kind of something that, believers of Helm tell themselves, when they're in dire straits.
Sure. Not really. I mean, it's kind of just a saying.
Crap.
Can I look around the room for any kind of like iconography of Helm or something? Or
Yeah, sure. You can roll another investigation for that.
5.
Yeah, you don't seem to find anything.
That's your guy, right? Helm?
Yeah.
Can't you do like Godfire stuff? Could you shoot Godfire where the burn is?
Yeah, I'll try, I guess. I'll just do what's it called? Sacred Flame. On the
Throw a sacred flame in the circle.
yeah, the one on the right with the scorch.
Okay. There's like a small spark, and then a little globe of light kind of explodes. Nothing happens.
Made sense, though, right?
Can we search the desk?
I mean, they're just kind of flat desks. None of them like open up or anything.
The only thing in the room is desks, and then those circles on the floor.
And that broken chalkboard.
Chalkboard.
Okay, so something's hidden down here.
Can I do mending on the chalkboard? Will that
Sure.
work? Does anything? Okay.
The chalkboard reforms. You can see that writing was in one of the lower corners that broke off, but you managed to get the chalkboard hung back up.
Can I just like carefully inspect it, see if I check
Sure.
it for clues? Natural 1.
You don't seem to find anything.
Big rolls.
Alright. Can we get Terrence to check for traps on door number 2?
Well, I feel like there's something up with these circles. What did it say? What's it say in the chalkboard?
It says, "The library has fallen, but my faith in Helm has not. I have saved my students through his grace, but I leave behind a gift for the soul still trapped. Only Helm's light shines in the dark."
Oh, I'll just. So these are just like part of the floor of the circles, right?
Yeah,
Can
they're like copper circles that are inlaid into the floor.
Can we shut the door and douse the lights, and then try that flame again, just to light the room?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and shut the door. I'll cast light on my
Well,
shield.
do like a radiant kind of spell, like something where you're actually channeling Helm.
I am when I cast light.
Everything he does is through his boy.
Okay.
So you shut the door behind you?
Yeah.
You shut the door behind you? The light's still on.
Okay.
Can we slowly that crystal?
Ooh. I'll just cast light and see if anything happens on my shield.
Okay. You throw up light. Boom. Nothing happens.
Hmm. Okay. Is the crystal within reach?
It's about 15 feet up.
Are the desks movable?
Yeah.
Is there any noticeable difference between the 3 desks? Are they all pretty
There's like
uniform?
there's more than 3 desks. There's like
Oh, it's like a whole classroom.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, Terrence. You got range? You can hit that crystal.
Yeah, I'll just smack it with like a firebolt.
There's a shattering sound, a little bit of spark, and the whole room goes into darkness.
Okay. I still got light up.
Okay, with your light out, as soon as it goes dark, you kind of throw your light out as much as you can. You see, as the light hits all of a sudden, in that scorch-marked circle, there is a small little box.
I don't know.
Okay. I will inspect the box. Does it look trapped at all?
You can roll an investigation check.
15.
Alright, now to 1.
15. From what you can tell, it's not trapped. It's just like kind of the silver and black chest. It has two little flip locks on it.
Okay. I will try to open it.
Okay. You open it up. Inside are there's a couple of books. There's Little S'mores Guide to Magic Volume 2.
Ooh.
Little s'more.
It's not.
There is
We have the first one, right? The second one.
a gallon like container. It looks like a big old like gas can, I guess it looks like almost. Except it's got like a screw lid on it. There is a whole smattering of holy symbols inside, and there is a small little ring.
Nice. Okay.
So they were in door number 2, right?
Oh, I don't know. I
no,
thought we were still in door
This
number
was
1.
in door number 1.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay, so there was volume 2, Little Stars, the gallon jug, the ring, and what else?
Like 11 holy symbols of a whole bunch of different gods and deities. Some of them that you've never seen before.
Okay. I'll just take the whole box, I guess. Terrence, does this ring look magical at all? Maybe.
Roll Arcana.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it 16?
16. It does appear to be magical.
Hello. Is this what they do to cheese? Seems like
Yes.
it has wax. or something.
This is the magical ring.
Oh, the rind? Yeah.
Whatever.
I'll go ahead and help burn and identify on it.
Okay. You burn identify on it. It's a silver ring that seemed to be used by clerics of Helm to banish darkness and spread learning. It looks like this particular ring has probably seen better days, but it contains 3 charges of light, 1 charge of tongues, and if you are a follower of Helm when you have it equipped, it does not acquire attunement. Be it +1 to all saving throws.
Holy crap.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Put it down.
I shall put it on.
A beautiful ring.
Sweet. Alright, next door.
That wasn't too bad.
Pretty good.
Which number door you want to go to next?
I would say check 2 for traps.
Alright, I'll try again.
Number 2.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
You don't detect any traps.
I open it.
Okay. It opens up. This chamber is fairly sparse. But that only makes what is present even more disturbing. Sitting on what's left of an oak table against the far wall is a massive book, seemingly bound in marble. To the left are 3 gleaming dwarf skeletons piled on a bed of decayed cloth in a corner, and to the right is a massive pile of slightly decayed skin. As you enter, the skin seems to undulate towards you like an eel or a snake.
Oh boy.
I need everybody to roll initiative.
Okay.
Yeah. Another nat 20. I rolled 2 ones in a row and then 2 20s in a row.
Oh, good, because I got a natural 1.
Oh, shit.
I guess the 3 initiative.
Bing.
19 for the Fed chairman.
Hold on, give me a sec. Okay. Quincy, what'd you get?
10.
10. Terrence, what'd you get?
That's a 22.
2. Fed chairman,
19.
10. What did Ballstar get?
3.
3. Okay. Okay, so that's big T, A, G, Quincy. Let's see. Cool. Terrence, you are up first as this, like I said, it's just like this oozy pile of, like, veiny, vascular skin just comes, like, out of one corner, just begins, like, jetting towards you.
Alright, can I roll perception to see if it's one entity or more than one?
Sure.
Okay, that is a 17.
17, it just seems to be one very, very large, like, portion. It seems to be made of different skin colors, so, like, maybe at one point it was separate entities, but it looks like it's all just kind of melted together.
Okay. I'm just gonna firebolt it.
Firebolt. Alright,
Fire!
roll it.
Okay. It's a ranged spell attack. 17.
17, that is a hit.
Yes. Okay. That is 19 fire damage.
Alrighty.
And
You light it up.
I want to back up around the corner
Okay.
and say, Icky is coming!
Alright, it's going to take us to Alan Green's man.
So I am outside the door and it's still inside, yeah?
Yeah, and then Terrence is right next to you.
I think I'm just gonna charge at it.
Alrighty. It's still in the corner. It hasn't moved forward yet, so it's probably, 15, 20 feet away from you.
Actually, is it dark?
No, the light turned on.
Okay, so yeah, I will just attack it. Oh my goodness. I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Jeez Louise.
So those are my attack rolls, plus 11. So 12, 13, and 14.
Actually, they all hit except for the natural one.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not exactly wearing armor.
Okay. I'll let you know about damage.
Okay. It's going to take us to Quincy.
Okay. I'm just gonna Sacred Flame it.
Okay.
So, dex saving throw.
It rolls a 17.
Oh, it makes it.
Okay.
Womp womp.
So just nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. So it's the flesh's turn.
It
It
is,
is going to
there was 23 damage.
23?
Yeah.
Having just been struck by you, it doesn't like because it's making sound. It just kind of gloops. It like shrinks away from you. The part of it that got hit, and then the back part of it just begins to like schlup onto the wall, and then climb up the wall, spider climb, get 15 feet, go along the ceiling, and rushes towards the open doorway that has Terrence and Quincy next to it. It gets above you guys. Let's go. And I need both you guys to roll dexterity saving throws.
14.
14. Okay, failed.
18.
18 makes it. Quincy manages to just step out of the way before it falls onto you. However, it completely envelops Terrence like a terrible sheet of skin.
Oh god.
Oh man.
You take. Oops. Oh, damn it. This is so awkward. Four necrotic damage and 16 crushing damage, so bludgeoning damage. You cannot breathe. You are restrained, which means all attack rolls on you have advantage and you can't move. And you take this damage at the beginning of each of its turns. You do not get a saving throw to get out of it at the beginning of your turn, only if it should choose to move.
Wow. I take no damage.
Yeah, you don't take any. You just step out of the way.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry, up next is Quincy.
Really? I feel like I just went.
Oh, I'm sorry. Quincy. Ballstar is supposed to go.
Okay. I'm gonna light
Yeah,
up.
we'll put Ballstar. What?
I'm gonna tentacle rod the thing on
Okay, you're
Terrence.
gonna grapple
First is a natural 1.
it?
Second is a 15. Third is a 20.
Okay. 13 and 20 both hit.
Okay. That is a total of 9 points of damage, and I'm going to
Okay.
bonus action Shillelagh it.
Alright.
That is 14 to hit.
That's a hit.
Cool. And that is going to be 11 damage.
11. Okay. Terrence. What kind of damage was that?
All bludgeoning.
Terrence, take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
That'll bring us to the top of the round to Terrence, who just takes damage and is restrained. Terrence takes 6 necrotic damage, and then 12 bludgeoning damage. That's Terrence's turn. Alan Greenspan.
So I don't really want to smack the thing, because won't I just damage Terrence underneath it?
Yeah, but it's just gonna stay on him. Maybe we can just heal him up.
Yeah, I mean, we guess we can technically.
I feel bad about striking with a huge blade, so I'm gonna morph the Sword of Galifar into just a
Cheese
big,
grater.
just a big club. Like I feel better about hitting him with something blunt.
Okay, you're gonna need just a big old great club.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So now I no longer know how to roll for this.
Is it a D6 per club?
I think it's a D8.
Oh yeah. Quarterstaff is D8.
For what damage?
Yeah.
I roll for the attack normally.
A great club, I think, is 2d4, actually.
The attack rolls are 23, 19, and 28.
Hit.
So 2d4, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great.
Poor Terrence just is getting his ass beat.
Whack, 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 whack.
With calculating damage, we'll pull it to
No,
To-
Great
to
Club
Ballstar.
it's 1D8.
a great club is.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ballstar, you up?
Oh shit. I'm gonna tentacle rod again.
Okay.
That is 14 to hit, natural 20, and 22 to hit.
Those all hit.
Okay, so he's slowed then. Half speed, disadvantage on dex save throws, no reactions, can only use an action or a bonus action and not both. And it saves
Okay.
saves at the end of the turn.
That's what the tentacle rod does.
Yeah.
35 damage from the clubs.
Damn.
How much?
35.
Oof.
I got damage coming at you.
Parents take 35.
Holy shit. That's a total of 15 damage.
Okay.
All bludgeoning, and then I'm gonna do a healing word on Terrence. That's my bonus.
You just hear a bunch of.
Nice. Okay, that's 7 points of healing, Terrence.
It is the flesh thing's turn. It's just gonna chill where it's at.
Oh no.
Actually, as a matter of fact, it can still do a flesh mace. It's gonna do a flesh mace on, let's do on Ballstar, the last one to hit it. Yeah, I rolled a 9 and missed.
Okay.
A big old flesh tendril comes out. But it misses. So that's Quincy.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would have been 18 bludgeoning damage because I forgot about the crit.
Ooh, woof.
So 18 rather than 15.
Okay. Terrence goes down and then gets right back up.
Why?
Because the damage would have taken me down.
Oh, and then I healed you after.
Me back up.
Oh, the healing word.
Shit.
I will use the Toll the Dead.
Okay.
So he's gonna make a Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Natural 1.
Nice. 19 necrotic.
Does it do additional to undead?
Nope.
Okay.
Could
It
you
is
scare it away?
necrotic damage though.
What? Could you turn it?
It's not. Might be undead. Oh yeah. I could, but like.
Who knows?
The necrotic damage seems to be fully effective,
Cool.
Right on.
and Terrence does not take that damage.
Ooh.
Which will go to Terrence next. That's it's 8 necrotic, and then 6 bludgeoning.
Terrence is down.
Alan Greenspan.
Well, if he's down, I might as well just club the thing again.
That's gonna
You're
kill
kill
me.
him.
Yeah. If you hit
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you hit him, it's an automatic fail.
It's death failed. Death save.
Oh, crap. Well, I twiddle my thumbs, I guess.
Okay. So the way that this creature is written, it doesn't. You do get a check at the beginning of your round to get out of this thing, but they put it in as like an afterthought, the very last sentence.
Oh no.
Like 3 paragraphs away from like what the attack does. So sorry. We'll just go ahead and we'll just move on. All right, so it's Ballstar.
Alright, I'm gonna give another healing word. Same 7 healing.
You pops back up and you're prone.
And
Some of this stuff.
then.
Oh, it's not cut on the bottom there.
Oh, I could just. Oh god. I don't know what to do. I'm scared, so I'm just gonna waste my action.
Okay. That'll take us to the top of Terrence. Terrence, I need you to roll a strength saving throw with disadvantage to try to get out of this thing.
9.
Oh, no.
He's unconscious though, right?
No, I just healed him.
Oh.
I just healed him. He's fine.
9 doesn't do it, unfortunately. Alan Greenspan.
Shoot. I mean, he's up. You could hit him without killing him.
I'm sorry, did I miss Quincy? I thought
Yeah.
I missed Quincy.
I think
Oh,
so.
I don't know if the monster is taking any damage when you hit it. It might just be transferring all of it to me.
Right.
I think I skipped Quincy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Quincy, go for it.
I'm gonna use Channel Divinity and pour 35 hit points into Terrence.
Nice. Is that an action?
Yep.
Alright, so then it's Terrence who failed, Alan Greenspan. What you doing?
Do you have your like special fighter moves? Is there anything you can do?
Who has that thing where they give somebody else like a fire damage?
Oh,
I do when I cast spells.
I have that commander strike where I can just give up my turn. Can I just give my turn to Terrence to try to escape?
No, it's only for a melee attack.
Gotta be
I think
okay.
it has to be attack.
Crap. I think I'm just gonna jog in place.
Okay. Ballstar.
Shit. Okay. Fuck, I'm forgetting my spells. Sorry. Shit balls.
So we know that necrotic is harming it.
We know that hurts it. I think everything's hurting it. As far as we know.
Well, yeah, necrotic didn't hurt Terrence.
Yeah, specifically, yeah. Right. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm just gonna do a produce flame cantrip. Just give him a little fire damage, see how Terrence likes that.
Okay.
So let me see.
He is resistant to it.
Okay, ranged attack. That's 19 to hit.
That hits.
And this is awesome. Why didn't I do this more? That's going to be... That's terrible rolls. 10 fire damage.
10 fire damage? That's actually enough. You throw out a produce flame and it spreads all over it. Like, you can still see, like, hair on the skin just kind of, like, singe away. There's a huge scorch mark on it. And all of a sudden, Terrence, it's constricting you. It just goes completely lax. And you're just covered in decaying flesh.
Burning, decaying flesh.
I kick it off like a blanket.
Okay. Yeah, it smells horrible. It just kind of flump.
You okay, buddy?
I'm just lying on the ground.
Terrence, roll an intelligence check.
13.
13. This is actually something that you just recently read about. This seems to be a kind of beefier version of that ghost flesh spell you just learned.
Mm. You know, it's very warm.
What?
Very warm.
Pretty warm.
It's very warm in here.
Whenever Ash is here, it's so cold. It's awful.
Scope on that thing.
What's a regular healing potion?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
I'll give you a cure wounds too.
You want a healing potion or something?
He just took one.
Okay.
Oh. Garbage.
Alrighty. After a horrific experience, what are you guys doing?
I healed you for 20 turns.
Nice. Alright, so I'm up to 68 now. I'm not doing too bad.
Cool.
Okay.
So there's like a giant marble book.
Yeah, there's a there's 3 dwarven skeletons. It looks like a massive book bound in marble.
Is the book closed?
Yeah, it is.
How about
Is
any?
it a title? Any lettering on it?
What languages do you speak?
Draconic. And
Francais.
Dwarvish.
Dwarvish? Okay, you do see it. Hold on. It says The Tales of Moradin. Do you open it up?
Can I Arcana check it first?
Yeah, sure.
25.
25. It doesn't seem to be any sort of magic to it.
Okay, I'll open it.
It's insanely heavy. It weighs as much as a full-grown dwarf would. You kind of skim it for a little bit as you're reading it, Dwarvish. It seems to contain stories of dwarven folk history, including several stories that you've never heard of. It's got stuff like the creation of the dwarves, how Moradin created the first hammer, tons of other gems from dwarf antiquity.
All right, let's put it in the bag of holding.
What was it called again?
The Tales of Moradin. As a cleric, you know that, especially as a dwarf cleric, Moradin is the god of the dwarves.
Huh. So Helm was the first room, and this one is Dwarf God.
Mm-hmm.
How did you say the skeletons were arranged?
They're all piled up on top of each other.
Just on the floor?
Bones, bleached white.
So they've been there for a long time?
Seems like it. There's not a bit of decayed skin on them. Seems all of their skin decided to have a happy party and then try to kill you.
Anything under the bed or anything else in the room?
Roll an investigation check.
26.
You do find clutched in one of the skeleton's hands a a note on incredibly old paper that you managed to kind of pick up without it falling apart. It says, Fjord, Garnel, Crag, find Morden's book. Don't come back without it. Signed, High King Thermosh, Undermount the Third.
Quincy, does this name ring a bell? Is this one of your old kings?
Roll a history check. I'll give you advantage on it too.
Pretty good. 23.
That name actually sounds familiar. As a matter of fact, it's one of the heads that is carved into the giant dam in Skullgorge Bridge.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's actually one of the dudes, carved into the big Skullgorge rock face.
Where we came out of the Zerg Mountain?
Yeah, the very same.
So they
Shit,
said-
that's where what's-his-face died. Terrence, you died there, right?
Don't remind me.
Well, sorry about that.
So they sent an expedition to this library searching for some book.
They wanted this book,
This
right?
is the book.
What if the book killed them?
Can I do a nature check on the skeletons to see how they died?
Yeah, sure.
12.
That would be a nature, be a medicine check.
Okay. I'm better at that. 14.
It's really hard to tell. Although you do remember that from like the little video, holographic video, that like something happened to this library. At one point it was above ground, but then like all of a sudden the library just was sunk with everybody inside of it. You remember that with the necromancer woman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, there's something that is. There's some necromantic magic still active around here. It's likely similar magic to what Warbach was ended by out in the hallway there.
Have we actually rolled Arcana on the giant book?
Yeah, Kristen.
Yeah. They were probably just after the book for its value.
And how are we talking, like man-sized book?
Dwarf sized. It's about 4.5 feet tall. Bound completely in marble. It's insanely heavy.
So we're not going to move it, but should we try and check through it?
Yeah, we did.
Well, he kind of skimmed it. He didn't
Oh,
like.
we
He was
did.
like in the table of contents. He didn't
Oh,
like read it all the way through.
Can I skim for like anything that has any relation to like the runes on the throne or the magic wheel?
That's a good call.
Yeah, sure. Roll an intelligence check. Try to skim through the book.
18.
No, nothing that you found correlates with the wheel or the throne.
Those symbols. Beastlands, Arborea, Hades, Limbo. Mount Celestia could be a dwarf thing. Abyss, Bitopia, and Mechana.
We came across like another fairy tale book that had that name. Celestia. Right?
Yeah, the Celestial Sea.
Oh yeah.
So these books might have something to do with those tiles that were the books that we're collecting. But, all we can do is collect them for now.
Oh, hey, also, I guess the Little Snar's Guide to Magic, Volume 2. The first one was Volume 1, Arcane. This one is Volume 2, Divine.
Okay.
That's the other one is where Terrence learned some new spells too. Just to remind you.
Cool.
Well, should we just inspect door 3?
Yeah, that was all that's in the room, right? We got the book off the table and got this little note out of their hands.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Door number 3.
Chirp for chirps.
Yeah, I'll check it.
Okay.
12.
12. The door doesn't seem to be trapped.
I don't see anything here, but I'm not very confident. I'm gonna let someone else lead the way here.
I will open the door.
Okay. You open the door. This chamber only has 2 things in it, and both are terrifying. As the overhead light slowly illuminates the room, you see a spinning sphere of decayed flesh the size of a basketball hovering about 5 feet off the ground. Just beneath it is a small leather journal with a weirdly realistic face on the cover. As you enter, the small book's eyes open, and it stares up at you in disbelief. Just as that happens, the sphere twitches, and you can see whatever weird eyes that are on it begin to kind of like slowly twitch. One of them kind of half lids open and closes again.
Morph the Sword of Galifar into a basketball hoop.
Okay.
Can I roll perception on that and see if that's the other spell, that flesh sphere?
It totally is.
Oh god. Doesn't that thing explode?
Hella.
Oh god. I'm gonna warn everybody. That thing blows up, stay away.
You say that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna run.
As soon as you speak, the eyes open on the flesh sphere and goes exact towards whoever's closest.
Run!
I'm going to roll a dice to see who's close. Terrence was up first. He bolts. Who's behind Terrence?
I mean, I opened the door.
Oh, okay. So then it goes for Alan Greenspan.
Oh.
Sorry, let me read it. Oh, I have to look at the fucking... Oh, it's stupid. The stats of it isn't in the spell.
Yeah.
D&D.
They should just make, like, hyperlinks. That'd make things so much easier.
Yeah.
Where are you? There you are. I need everybody within 15 feet, so I'll
Probably
say everybody
everybody.
but everybody but Terrence, because he just like bolted. Need all of you to roll dexterity saving throws for me.
14.
It's 15.
7.
Okay. Anybody who rolled below a 15 takes 26 necrotic damage as it explodes.
Pretty cool.
There's just like nothing but just like blood and chunks of flesh left behind.
And that's halved, right, if we made it?
Yeah, it's half
15?
just made it.
Okay.
is the state of the journal?
The journal is still on the table. You see the eyes are still looking at you like wide, like kind of scanning the room.
You know those like red, white, and blue popsicles?
Yeah.
Ballstar looks like those, just different colored ichor and layers over his body.
Just covered in gore.
Yeah.
Now you smell like rotting flesh was thrown on the bonfire.
Gore and bile and blood.
Flooded and shitted and came.
Well, I'm not reading this book.
Alright, Terrence will peek back in. Oh man. You gonna try and talk to it?
Okay. You wander up, and its eyes are just like closing and opening and like looking around. As soon as it sees you, it like stares up at you, and you can just see tiny little tears streaming down its face. It's this weirdly realistic face of, it looks like a young girl, like gnomish almost, like big wide set eyes, kind of smaller features.
Alright, I'm gonna try and just message it mentally, see if it'll respond.
Okay.
I mean no harm. Are you alive?
You hear just like sobbing, just like ugly crying, just. Thank you so much. Get me out of here.
Have you been trapped here?
Yeah.
Who has done this to you?
I don't know. The library shook, and then there was a big flash of light, and then I think my body was that thing.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Is she talking or is this all telepathy?
It's all via message.
Okay.
Do you want to be released from this pain?
Yes, 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 until the character limit runs out.
Yeah. Okay. I will release you as quickly as I can. Will you harm me if I touch you?
I swear no. I can't even move.
Alright. I'm going to pick up the book. And does it have anything besides the face?
It's just the face on the cover.
Okay, can I look in it?
You open it up and just like you hear screams in your head.
Is there anything written in it?
Yeah, there is in handwriting. Seems to be like a journal.
I'm going to try and quickly get the gist of it.
Okay. Let's see. From what you can read and kind of skim through it, roll an intelligence check to see how fast you can get through it.
25.
Okay. You don't get any of the beginning. You just kind of flip to the end and try to get. It looks like this girl, her name is Ethel. She was a pupil of someone named Biblius. It seems like the king or like the maker of the library.
Just a haunted doll watch.
her teacher was starting to go crazy. The creator of this library. So she was like staying. She came to visit to try to reason with him, see if check up on him on her teacher. When there was an attack on the library by these like creatures that with like very huge snake bodies and humanoid faces. She hid in the reading room when the attack happened, but then the library was sunk beneath the ground, and there was a huge flash of light. She woke 2 days later and realized she was a book. Well, I guess that part wouldn't be in it because she wouldn't be able to write it, but the last like hurried scribbles are her talking about the shaking and the bright light and the energies around her that are starting to electrify like this weird magical wave.
John, that was just a haunted doll watch.
Yeah, it definitely was.
What is that from?
It's from a podcast. My brother, and me.
They find haunted dolls on eBay and just read the descriptions of like Alice was a dark spirit. She had lived for many, many years in a basement, ignored by her. It's just like
She has healing energy and realistic breasts.
Okay. Well, we need to take her with us.
Terrence, what's the lowdown here?
Yet another necromantic spell was cast on this poor girl. Her body, unfortunately, is no more. But she's stuck, writhing in pain in this form. I told her I would end her misery as soon as possible. But I think she may have some part to play in our decoding of the wheel.
Sure.
Is there anything else in the room?
Now, there's some tattered clothes right next to the desk, but they've just been ripped apart.
Can you ask her like what year it is? Like, does she know what time of year it is?
Yeah, I'll ask her, like, a time reference. What she last remembers.
Okay, she goes. I don't know. It's been so long. I just tried to sleep. I remember I'd be asleep for a while, and then I'd wake up and realize that I was still this thing. I prayed the first couple dozen times. Then I realized nobody was coming. I just tried to be unconscious with my body over me. I just couldn't. I couldn't be awake.
I'll ask her, like, if you know, like, who was the ruler at the time when she was alive?
Biblius.
Is this, like, as a history check, is this Biblius like someone that's well known in the history books?
Roll a history check.
I thought the whole building we were in had that name.
yeah, it's the Library of Biblius. It's his library.
Let's see. History. That's a 14.
You have no idea. Aside from all the references to Biblius that you've seen inside of this library. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we should move on.
Boogie.
Door number 4.
Yep. I'll check it. 18 for traps.
Okay. You check the door for traps. You don't seem to find any.
Okay. No traps as far as I can tell, and then I back away and invite someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back 10 feet too.
I will open
Okay.
the door.
You open the door. You ease up in the door and peek in. You see a room filled with old and broken tools scattered across a large scorch mark on the floor. There is one large oak table against the far wall with a few rusted tools on it. Next to the tools is a thick leather-bound book with, it looks like, a title written in Draconic on it.
Room looks clear, but I can't read this book.
Alright, Terrence will see what the book says.
Okay. You stroll up to the book. It says, it's actually a long sentence. In Draconic it says, 2 lovers forever chasing each other in an endless race that neither can win. But once every 1,000 years, when they wish hard enough, they're able to embrace in front of the whole world. Who are they? On top of the book is also another small piece of parchment written in Draconic, and it says, Shui, would you give us to the kids, please? My parents keep freaking about King Biblius. They think he's gone insane. They told me to get home an hour ago, but I wanted to make sure the kids got this. It's a 2-part puzzle book, but it's really easy to solve. Tell them I said. The rest of the scroll is ripped off and missing.
Oh boy.
Alright, so it's a calendar, right? The date?
No, it's not a date. It just there's a riddle on top of the book that says 2 lovers forever chasing each other in an endless race that neither can win, but once every 1,000 years, when they wish hard enough, they're able to embrace in front of the whole world. Who are they?
Right, isn't that the answer something to do with the calendar? Like the numbers?
Where'd you get calendar from?
Like 1,000. The numbers roll past each other to 2,000.
Oh. I don't know.
So that's on the cover of the book, or that's like pages open?
That's on the cover of the book. It's a very long, stupid title.
Sorry, 2 lovers forever chasing each other in an endless loop. Once every 1,000 years, they embrace in front of the whole world. Something I
Yeah.
miss? Anything important I'm neglecting?
It says, who are they?
Who are
That's
they?
it.
Okay.
Sounds like the sun and moon. I mean, it would depend on orbits and crap, but I don't know. It sounds to me like orbits line up and the moon passes in front of the sun or something.
Yeah.
As soon as you say that, the door slams shut.
Uh-oh.
There is a rumbling sound as you look up, and the ceiling begins to shrink. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Ceiling needs to shrink.
Like collapse down on us
Okay.
slowly.
28.
$11.
Okay, what's the initiative? 20?
5.
Carrots.
4.
Alan Greenspan.
28.
And Ballstar.
11.
Okay. The ceiling moves down 2 feet. It looks to be about a 15-foot ceiling. Alan Greenspan, you're at the top of the initiative. As soon as you say sun and moon, the door slams shut, the ceiling begins to shrink, and you look down at the face of the book, and the book has morphed, the front of the book has morphed into a keypad that's with the numbers 1 through 9.
Oh god. I'll type in 1000.
Nothing happens.
So does that count as an action?
Yeah.
How far from the door am I?
You're within walking distance and around for sure.
Alright, I'll move to the door and bonus action Crowbar of Galifar.
That'd be an action.
Okay.
So next up is Terrence. No, sorry, is Ballstar.
Two lovers forever chasing each other and endlessly every 1,000 years.
Ballstar puts in 69,000. Or
Nothing
6,900.
Nothing happens.
Can I do a perception check? Has anything changed in the room besides the ceiling?
You can roll a perception check.
Okay. 25.
25. The ceiling looks like it's beginning to, like the dust is beginning to kind of singe off of the ceiling as well.
Like it's okay. There's a huge scorch mark on the ground.
Oh yeah. And tools.
Tools are just scattered everywhere, right?
Yeah. If that's your turn, then that's going to be Terrence.
So is it still a book? Like, does it still have pages?
It's still a book, but the
forever
cover is
chasing
turned
each
into like
other.
the 1
How
through
does
9
it go?
keypad.
Two
I'll look
lovers
in the
forever
book.
chasing each other in an endless loop.
Okay.
Once
You
every
open up the
1,000
book,
years,
it's just
they can
all blank.
embrace in front of the whole world.
So maybe 2, 4, 1.
Is endless loop an 8, maybe? I don't know.
2, 4, 8, 1.
Every 1,000 years, they can embrace in front of the whole world.
What kind of tools are these on the ground?
There's tons. There's hammers. There's small chisels. It looks like there's very fine filing equipment. It looks like there's some magical tools that one would use to like imbue magic, runes on stuff.
So you're gonna try.
I'm gonna try 2, 4, 8, 1.
What you doing?
I'm gonna say, who's got the immovable rod?
I do.
Star Wars trash compactor.
Yep.
You grab the immovable rod.
I got it. What do you want? What do you want with it?
Yeah, I'm just reminding you about it.
Okay. What you doing for your action?
Yeah, I nod to him with my action. Oh man, I'm gonna do 69.
I already did that.
Yeah,
No, you
nothing
did,
happens.
You did 6,900.
You did 69?
I'll take us to Quincy.
Okay. So I've been paying attention to the moon cycle. Would I know the last time? What the date of the last time that this eclipse happened?
The date of the last eclipse?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You know the date of the last eclipse.
Okay.
You can look at your pendant and see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type in whatever that number.
Whatever that date is?
Yeah.
Okay. You type it in, nothing happens. They'll take us to the top of the round. The ceiling moves 2 feet lower, and it begins to get hot in here. That's going to be Alan Greenspan.
So I want to. So I was gonna crowbar the door, but I get a bright idea, so I go back to the keypad, and I'm gonna say 2, 4, 8, and then just pause for a second.
2, 4, 8. Pause.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Then I will type 1.
1.
Yes.
Nothing happens.
Ah.
Anything else?
I type 1,000 again.
Nothing.
2, 4, 8, 1, 1,000. Ah.
It'll take us to Ballstar.
Can I like do like an investigation check, just like scoping out the walls, seeing if anything seems like there's any kind of panel or any kind of trigger mechanism?
No investigation.
17.
17. You're checking out the panels. You're moving all of the stupid tools out of the way that are covering the ground, and you do see a small bit of ripped parchment.
Heyo.
Ooh.
Terrence, what's this say?
And I run over to him and hand it to him.
You pick it up. The small piece of parchment matches up to the one that you found on the top of the book. It reads, "They can do this if they stick together. I'm sure you'll figure it out, but the two levers are the sun and the moon, and the code to defeat the trap is 86-75-309. 86 rings around that move, 75 sun wizards, and 309 days in a year. Tell them I can't wait to see them when I get back. Thanks again." I'm sorry, guys. This is the stupidest trap I've ever fucking seen.
It's great.
8, 6, 7, 5, 3.
I'm so sorry. I could have just given it to you on the Eclipse because that's way smarter. That's way fucking smarter than this stupid parchment thing. I was so pissed when I read this. I almost just took it out completely. It's so fucking dumb. You know what? Everybody gets inspiration because I was a dumb fucking.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You type it in because obviously there's 75 sun wizards. Obviously. Fucking stupid thing. You type it in, and the ceiling stops.
Jenny, I got your number.
Now that you've typed it in, you actually feel there's a slight vibration in that book that you're holding that had the keypad on it.
Okay. Investigate it.
Okay. You open up the book, and it looks like the blank pages have somehow kind of disappeared to make a small recess. Inside the recess are two very small gem-like things. One of them is a vibrant purple prism. and one of them is a dark blue rhomboid.
All right. Can I Arcana them, see if they're magical?
Yeah, sure.
18.
18? Yeah, both of them are magical.
Okay.
Can you bring up those sigils or whatever?
Do they have any markings on them?
They have small little rooms. It looks like on the inside, like almost like a hologram when you look through them towards the light. But they're tiny, like they're almost as big as your thumbnail.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna pocket them for now. May have to ritual cast them later to try to identify them.
Okay.
Can I Arcana check on the tools to see if there's anything valuable?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, 24.
You don't seem to find anything magical among the tools.
Is the ceiling totally level?
Yeah, it's totally level.
So we don't know what this scorch mark is about, right?
Oh, the room is heating up.
Yeah, but why would it just be... It's in a stripe or something, I thought.
This isn't the first scorch mark that you've seen, though. A lot of the rooms you open have strange, like, scorch marks in the floor, on the ceiling.
Okay. So we've got the book, we've got the gems, and the rest is just random tools.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else in the room.
That you can see.
Okay. I'm assuming we rummaged through everything, all the tools.
Yeah.
All right.
Door number 5.
5 it is.
Door number 5.
I guess I'll check for traps.
Check for traps.
20.
20. Okay. You don't detect any traps.
Okay, I'll step back and invite someone to open it.
I will open the door to your heart.
Greenspan checks the handle. Seems to be unlocked. You open it up. As this room illuminates, you see a few odd things. A small busted violin lies next to a pile of loose parchment in velvet robes in the middle of the floor, and the desk against the far wall has a small journal written in Draconic. The journal was written by none other than Biblius himself. It seems mostly intact, though sections have fallen out or rotted away. It seems a small piece of parchment is being used as a bookmark near the end of the journal.
I'll just call Terrence over to it.
Alright, so there's a violin, parchments, there's a robe, and there's a desk with a journal.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else in the room?
No, that's it.
Any markings? Any?
Oh, I'm sorry. Next to the journal is a thick tome bound in a strange orange leather.
So I can see that it has some kind of marking from Biblios on
Yeah.
the journal. Does the orange book have any?
On the orange book, you see Little Snar's Guide to Magic Volume 3, Bardic.
Oh.
Bardic?
Bardic.
Okay. Alright, I'll pass that one along to whoever's holding the books. Okay. Can I roll other arcana to see if the violin or the robe or the journal have magic bound to them?
Yeah, sure. Roll an Arcana.
Natural 20.
No, none of them seem to be magical.
Okay. I'll pick up the violin and examine it.
The violin seems old. All of the strings seem busted. The gut strings have decayed beyond repair. The bridge is loose, but other than that, it looks like a very nice violin. If one were to dust it off, clean it off, put some oil on it, and all that.
All right. I'll shove both those two things off to Quincy to put in the bag of holding.
What was the violin and what else?
Biblios's robe. Nothing in the pockets.
Oddly enough, yeah. You check the pockets of it, you find about 4 or 5 scraps of paper, all staffed music, written hastily, but it's all just music that's written down. It looks like most of them aren't even named; they're not titled.
Okay. I want to memorize them so I can whistle them.
Well, it'll take you a while.
Well, then I'll keep those handy.
Okay.
All right, and then I'll carefully examine the book, the journal.
Okay. The first thing you do is you mark the place where the parchment is, and you take the parchment out, open the book. There's the parchment that was marking the end of it, and it seems to be like a bill. It says, "This week only, Cor Montour comes from the Dreg and Amphitheater in Lower Book, where violin has felled kingdoms and made the gods weep. Now she's here to bring you to your knees with wonder. Admission is only 5 platinum pieces at the door. Bring a gurgleberry pie and hear the magic for only 4 platinum pieces."
Gerberberry.
Gurgleberry. You see that and weird. You check the bookmarked part of the passage in the journal. It's written in a mixture of like common, draconic, and celestial. It reads from the parts that you can read. It says, all in capital letters, "Where does the Monkey King go? To defeat his foe? No. To Rome. To voyage. To quest. To know. His path is like an arrow shot from 3 faulty bows. Yo-ho. Yo-ho. Follow it, fellow. You'll find more knowledge than you can swallow. Yo-ho. You go."
I like this guy.
Quincy, could you play these on your bagpipes? These songs?
Yeah. I mean, it'll take me some time to learn them, but for sure.
Let's do a little sight reading.
That might be really loud, though.
Can I just try and whistle them?
Yeah, sure.
Just one through?
You kind of sight read them, you do a little bit of sight singing. They're catchy. They're definitely catchy. And actually, I misspoke when I said they were untitled. It's 4 different songs. The songs are titled "The God's Lament," "The Fall of Estuary," "The Shrouded King," and "The Halls of Garl." They're all signed at the bottom, Cor Mar Dur.
That's a name.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the name of the same person who was in the advertisement?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was his violin.
It's a she. Yeah. And the name seems to be very specifically gnomish.
How large is this robe?
Small.
Like gnome sized?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we checked the orange leather book?
There's the other magic book. The Beginner's Magic.
Oh, that's right.
for,
Little Snar's Guide to Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you might as well flip through that. Can I look through that and see if there's anything unusual? If it's just more like elementary spells.
It's more elementary spells. However, with you looking through it, you can tell that there's a couple of spells in there that you've never heard of. Even though you're not a bard, I mean, you know basic. The bard spells are kind of, although you don't really focus in it, they're bardic spells only go up to a certain level, and they can be kind of easy for somebody that knows higher level spells. But there does seem to be a couple of spells in there that you've never heard of at all. The bard spells are Epic Riff, Mosh, and Shred. You check out the Holy One too. It's all basic cleric spells from 0 to 5th level, but there are also spells that Quincy has never heard of. Control Fire, Create Holy Tonic, and Holy Shape.
Okay. I might definitely tell Quincy about those.
Oh, sweet. I will learn them when I have time.
Okay. I'll give you a rundown of them really quick.
Okay.
Let me see.
Holy tonic.
Also, what level are those bard spells?
Fourth or fifth.
Shape fire. Sounds cool.
Control Fire is a 4th level cleric. Concentration up to 10 minutes. Until the spell ends, you can control any flame that you see that is a cube up to 10 feet on each side.
Hey-o.
You can choose from any of the following effects when you cast the spell. As an action on your turn, you can repeat the same effect or choose a different one. You can enhance it, which you cause the flame you have chosen to swell in a size up to a cube that is 10 feet on a side. You can blaze it, which will cause the flame you have chosen to double in heat and deal an extra 2d6 fire damage. Or you can illuminate, which you can cause the flame you have chosen to quadruple in intensity and blind everyone in a 100-foot radius.
Holy
Shit.
The effect lasts for 1 round. Create Holy Tonic. A pint of holy water you touch stores divine light, creating a holy tonic for up to 3 days. When consumed, this divine light heals the drinker for 2d8 plus the spellcaster's ability modifier. After 3 days, the tonic loses its healing ability at 1d8 per day. Holy tonic has no effect on a dead or constructs. You can also cast it at a higher spell level, and it increases the healing by 1d8 for each slot above 5th. And then Holy Shape is a 5th level cleric spell. Lasts for 1 minute. You channel the raw power of your deity through you and begin to glow a bright white. Your torso sprouts 2 new arms, and you grow a 3rd eye from your forehead.
Holy
For
shit.
as long as the spell lasts, you can now cast 2 healing spells per turn, and your stats become the stats listed below. Your HP is half of your current HP, your AC is -2, your speed is half.
Okay.
You just become a healing machine. And can hold other weapons, I guess.
Cool.
Okay, back to the journal. If I carefully flip through, do I see anything else?
It's just kind of a journal about Biblius. It seems that around the halfway point, he just stops making sense. The journal begins very dry, like 10 o'clock, woke up, had breakfast, 10:30, did some work until 2 o'clock p.m., and then it just begins to devolve into just like ramblings like the one that you read. Let me see if I can find more specific. Hold on. It might be. It tells of Biblius's early progress in building the library. It's very dull and written like a textbook. The last passage is very unique and written in 3 different languages. That's all the description says.
Alright, did anybody pick up anything from all the weird shit in that last passage?
The one about the Monkey King?
Yeah.
Very little concrete. Yeah, it just seemed like blathering.
There was something about shot from 3 arrows, and some of these symbols are made using 3 keystrokes. But yeah, nothing major.
Okay. Alright, well, take that with us as well. So we've taken everything from this room then.
Mm-hmm. Seems like it.
There's no drawers or anything in the desk. Markings on the walls.
Not that you can see.
Anything interesting about the furniture?
Just roll a perception check.
19.
19. You get a weird chill. Yeah, there's just seems to be like a weird like cold draft in here. Other than that, nothing.
Okay. Yeah, and I had my natural 20 on the Arcana check earlier.
Yeah, nothing magic.
Okay.
Door number
That
5.
was room 5 or room 6?
Room
That was
6.
5.
Alright, so one more.
Oh, we're in 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You guys are doing some work.
Alright, I guess I'll just check the last door.
Okay.
18 for traps.
You don't see sense any trap.
Alright, do the old step back.
I will open the door.
Okay. You ease the door open and find an almost completely empty chamber. In the center of the room is a small mound of rocks, on which sits a large canvas bag filled with jewels of every color of the rainbow.
Oh boy.
The mimic.
Right. Investigation.
Yeah, sure. Are you like investigating from like, what are you investigating? Like investigation like involves like going in and touching things. What
Maybe
you doing?
perception is better. I meant to just
Okay.
carefully look around.
Sure.
Oh, 20.
20 perception check.
Yes.
You stay at the door and you're just like, you guys are seasoned enough. You just feel real weird about this room. You take a few moments to just stay in the doorway, look around. You notice as you kind of move your head, every once in a while, light will catch just the faintest glimmer, almost like a spider web, directly in front of your face. And as you oh shit, you take a couple steps back and your eyes kind of refocus, and now that you see all this, and you can see throughout the entire room, there's just these thin threads everywhere.
Alright. I have an idea. Why don't we all back right up? And I will disrupt those webs from a distance.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll back way off.
Okay, everybody kind of steps back to the opposite end of the hallway.
Alright, how far does Mage Hand work? Alright, I got 30 feet.
Okay.
Back, I'm gonna start swiping through the webs.
Okay, the mage hand goes up, touches one of the webs. There's a this explosion of a transformer box exploding, and the mage hand just flies to the other side, splats against the wall, and falls.
Alright, I'm gonna do it again. Swipe, just flap around in the doorway.
Okay. Again. It looks like he's breaking these little things, but every time he hits it, the mage hand just sets off a shock and gets just flown back.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
Over.
You guys, it takes like 15, 20 minutes. With the mage hand, you tell it like to go for like the 12th time, and it just like shaking, picks itself up, and like is reluctant to go. But finally, you get through what you seem to be. You make a path towards the bag of gems sitting on a pile of rocks in the middle of the room.
Alright, and I'm gonna have the mage hand tie a rope around the bag, tie the knot, and I'm gonna set up a rudimentary pulley outside of the doorway so that when we pull the rope from way down the hall, it will drag the bag out the hallway.
Okay. You do that. It ties, and the bag. You hear a clunk. Keep dragging the bag. It looks like it's kind of leaving a lot of the gems inside, but as you pull, the gems come around the doorway.
Okay, I'm gonna collect that, I'm gonna use the mage hand to kind of lift the bag and look inside.
Okay.
From
You lift the bag to kind of open up the. You can see that there's like all the way to the bottom. It's just rainbow-colored gems.
And I'm gonna just spread them out all over the floor and make sure there's nothing else in there.
Okay. It empties the bag on the floor.
And then I'm gonna kind of peek back around the room and use the mage hand to collect all the remaining gems in the room.
Easy. Kind of sweeps. Gets them all out into the hallway.
Okay.
All that's left is the pile of rocks.
Okay. Well, I want to leaf through the gems. I guess I'll roll Arcana to see if any of them have any magical property.
Yeah, sure. Roll Arcana.
It's 13.
13. None of them seem magical. But as soon as you start picking them up and examining them, your heart kind of sinks. They're all just glass.
Oh. Okay, I'll leave them where they are and have the mage hand start carefully removing rocks from the pile one at a time. See if there's
Okay.
under that pile.
The mage hand goes to remove one of the rocks, and the form kind of shifts as it picks up one of the rocks, but very, very lightly. As it pulls up, the rocks turn into just like this blanket. As it picks up the blanket, that was a pile of rocks. There's just a dead body of a halfling who's just like semi-rotted, just looking up, just completely charred.
Burned.
Half burned. Looks like some of his armor is.
Okay. Tie the rope with the mage hand around his torso and pull him out into the hall.
Okay. Yeah, it just looks like a semi-decayed body.
Like what kind of clothing or armor is on him, if any?
It's just the only thing. Sorry, he's mostly decayed, but he still retains a few scraps of black cloth, marking him as, I don't know, something you don't quite know.
It's a halfling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does he have anything else on him? Any equipment?
Nope.
Okay, so just an unidentified corpse.
I'm sorry, there is something on him. There's a small necklace, a small citrine amulet around his neck that is in the shape of a lightning bolt. And as you kind of pick it up, you see just all of those spider wires are coming from that little lightning bolt necklace.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So the mage hand kept getting zapped?
What?
The mage hand kept getting zapped?
Yeah.
All right. And is this thing magical?
Seems to be.
Okay. So that's all 6 rooms, right?
Yep.
There was still 1 or 2 other doors that we haven't gone into, right?
Yeah, both the northern reading rooms and the southern reading rooms have a door in the T intersection that says the Great Hearth.
Well,
Okay.
with the body out in the hall, are there no longer any of the spider webs inside of the room?
Yeah, it seems all the spider webs just kind of like come down, and as soon as you kind of pick up the necklace, they're all just attached to the back of it.
So in the room, there's no more pile of rocks. It just was part of this guy's clothing or something, a blanket.
It was a blanket that the mage hand just like put on the floor.
Oh yeah, can I examine that blanket?
Sure. Does seem to be magical. Essentially, it's an item called the Blanket of Blending. It's pretty simple from what you can make out. It's nothing like super arcane. I'll read it to you really quick. Come on. Blanket of Blending. This 8-foot blanket is made of a very unique magical fiber that adapts to its surroundings. Made in secret by a now defunct league of arcane tricksters, these blankets once covered the Young Sword coasts, sometimes literally. Eventually, the league was disbanded by an overly righteous cult of paladins, blah, 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 blah. As a free action, any character in possession of this blanket can cover themselves with it and blend into their surroundings. When the command word is spoken, the blanket stretches itself to mimic not only the color, but the shape of its surroundings. Examples include a boulder, a bush, small hill. Any creature attempting to locate the creature must succeed on a DC 18 Wisdom Perception check.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's like the Hobbit cape.
Pretty much.
Does it require attunement?
It does not.
Ooh.
Damn.
Alright, keeping that one. Hey, can you guys ritual cast some healing while I ritual cast Identify on these other items?
I can't do that, but
I can do a prayer of healing while you're doing that. It's the best I can do.
Okay. So yeah, there's the lightning bolt and the gems that I need to identify.
The gems, when to identify them, these are called ion stones.
Oh, nice.
The first one is called, it's the dark blue rhomboid. You know that you attune to it and you put it next to you and it just kind of floats around your head. Doesn't take up a slot, but it does require attunement. While you have the dark blue rhomboid, you cannot be surprised. Period.
Huh?
That's all that does. The other one is the vibrant purple prism. It stores spells. Holding them until you use it. The stone can store up to 3 levels worth of spells at a time. Any creature can cast a spell of 1st through 3rd level into the stone by touching it as the spell is cast. The spell has no effect other than to be stored in the stone. If the stone can't hold the spell is extended without effect. The level of the slot used to cast the spell determines how much space it uses. While the stone orbits your head, you can cast any spell stored in it. The spell uses the slot level, spell save DC, spell attack bonus, and spell casting ability of the original caster, but is otherwise treated as if you cast the spell. The spell is cast from the stone, is no longer stored up in it, freeing up the space. That does not require attunement.
Nice. Okay.
Essentially, you can, Terrence can throw a fireball into it and then give it to Alan Greenspan, and then any time, Alan Greenspan can pretty much cast fireball out of it.
But at level 3?
At level 3 is the max, yeah. It can hold 3 levels of spells, so you can do 3 at 1 levels,
Yeah.
a 2 and a 1 or a 3.
So did the dark blue have spell saving qualities, or it was just you can't be surprised, period?
You can never be surprised, that's all.
Okay. And does that take
And
attunement?
actually, no, I look at it, it does not require attunement.
Okay.
I think Alan should get the cannot be surprised stone. and then we can kind of pass around the purple one as needed. But who wants it at first?
Have I ever been surprised?
Well,
Well,
okay.
we
Well,
get
if,
surprised
if we
round,
get,
we're all
if we get
surprised.
ambushed, then
The only time that you guys have been surprised was when Terrence went up on the deck of the airship and got sniped by Duchess's great arrows, and it critted on him and killed him.
Yeah, but I'm saying that just because he's got such a huge initiative bonus. So if he can't be surprised, plus his initiative, he'll
Yeah.
probably be able to go first.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So there's just a dark blue rhombus floating around my head.
It's tiny.
I already have an Iron Stone. I think I have a gray one that just gives me a +1 to my spell DC.
Everybody gets 23 points of healing.
Nice.
Woot.
So yeah, I mean we can kind of pass around the purple one based on what we think we need. You know, it'd be good to
I could just put like a big heal into it.
yeah, and then give it to someone that's that normally can't heal.
Yeah.
That's
Give it to Alan or something.
Yeah, because Alan can always like action surge and then heal everybody.
That's dope. So it takes up Quincy's. It takes up one of your. Oh, we don't need a two now. Holy
Nope,
shit.
doesn't need it too much.
That's awesome.
But I would leave it blank until we're about to the long rest, and then you can show
Right.
those ways. Throw your spell slots into it to load it up.
Dope.
All right, and the lightning bolt pendant necklace thing.
Lightning bolt pendant. Pretty much it does exactly what you said. It only has one charge left, but it's a trap in a box. It does the same thing where it covers a 20 by 20 cube and those hard to detect spider webs. Anybody who touches it does 48 damage, electric damage to them, and
Nice.
jolts them back 10 feet.
Jag.
What?
That's awesome.
It does take 25 minutes to set though.
And it's just there's one charge left and it's donezo?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it needs something to grapple onto. Like you can't just like shoot it out and it'll just stay there. It needs something to.
Is there a DC on that?
There's no DC. It's just that they touch it, they take 48, and we get flung back.
Oh wow.
All right, store that one away. And now that we're still talking about items, did that snake staff require attunement?
Let me check. Yeah, requires attunement by a cleric, druid, or warlock.
And its only ability is just that it does the snake thing.
Yeah, but it's a gargantuan, like it's a 3x3 giant anaconda that can restrain people.
Sweet. Okay.
However, here's the weird thing. If the snake is reduced to 0 hit points, it dies and reverts to staff form. The staff then shatters and is destroyed. If the snake reverts to staff form before losing all its hit points, it regains all of them.
Whoa.
And can it be commanded to revert back to the snake?
Yeah.
Back to the staff?
Yep, you have complete control over the snake.
Is that like a bonus action to
Bonus
revert?
action. Yeah, bonus action to speak the command word.
Alright. Alright. So we're done in here?
Yeah.
Just the one room left?
Great Hearth.
Well, how many books did we just pick up? There was
We
the
have many.
little girl with the face. There's a giant marble one that we can't move. There's the journal from Biblios.
The Divine Magic Instruction Book, the Bardic Magic Instruction Book.
The Wizarding.
Yeah.
Celestial Sea,
The Oak Codex.
Tales of Morden.
Oh yeah.
The spell book from the Necromancer. Vecna's Will.
Manual of Senses, the one covered in eyes. On Celestial Wings. There's a lot.
Yeah, we got like many books.
Oh yeah, lots of books. And we picked up an egg-shaped gem.
Oh, the one that's really entrancing.
What?
It's the one that you like. The multifaceted gem.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember if we checked to see if that one was magical.
Pretty sure it is. I just don't think we know what it does.
Okay, I guess I should identify that then. Okay, John, we also had a multifaceted egg-shaped gem. As he using his headphones.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah. We also had a multifaceted egg-shaped gem. And
Yeah.
I don't know if we checked to see if that's magical or to identify it.
No, you didn't get any magic on it. You tried to identify it, but you couldn't learn any magical properties about it because it's not magical.
Okay. Alright, so we've cataloged everything.
What was the small oak codex we found? The Manual of Senses?
It's the one.
That was the one. Whenever you touched it, it would get rid of your primary sense and grant you another one.
Okay.
It's covered in eyes.
Okay.
Alright, shall we check the main hall?
The Great Hearth or whatever?
Yes.
So there's two entrances. There's an entrance from the north reading room and the south reading room. They both conjoin to this great hall.
Yep.
Okay. Great Hearth. Excuse me.
Alright, so I guess I'll
Anybody need healing? Well, you gave us healing already.
check for traps and look for any like carvings or markings or anything.
Okay, roll investigation.
19.
19. You don't seem to detect any traps.
Okay. Is the door unlocked?
Yeah, it seems to be. It's a double door. It's pretty heavy, but
Yeah, I'll go ahead and open them.
as you open it up, the stone on stone grinding managed to open it up a little bit as it just kind of echoes throughout the whole hearth. You open this door into another massive area filled with dozens of bookshelves. Books are excuse me. America. Books are strewn across the marble floor, and a few stacks have been flipped over or smashed against the wall. According to the hanging oak signs above the remaining stacks, you can guess that this area is divided into 4 general sections. As you're looking the place over, You feel a surge of heat from your right. You turn and realize that half of the southern wall is taken up by an enormous blue marble fireplace. It sputters every few seconds with a bright white flame that can't seem to catch or stabilize.
How's the lighting in the room?
Dark. Really, all that you can really tell without the light or dark vision is that giant blue marble hearth on the north side.
I will.
From what you can see, the people who can read the different signs, there is reading area is over the hearth. There's a oak sign that says the how-to section. There's a section to the south that says biographies, and in the far corner you see a fiction.
I will. I'll light it up, and I'll just kind of look around for other doors.
Okay. You light it up. You don't see any other doors besides there's another set of double doors to the north of you, I guess.
Okay.
That says reading or northern reading rooms.
Okay.
I want to go to the how-to section.
Okay. Everybody else following?
Yeah, I'll go with them so I can help them read the books.
Okay. You walk over to the center, to a spacious section in the center of the room. The floor is covered in a thin layer of torn pages, and the shelves are all but bare. As you take a step onto the parchment, Alan, you feel a sickening feeling overtake you. You fall to your knees in pain, but when you look back up, the room is several degrees bigger. You turn your head way farther than you thought possible, and look directly behind yourself at the rest of your party. They are giants and wear shocked looks on their faces. Looking down, you come to the horrifying realization that you're covered in dark brown feathers. You try to scream, but all that comes out is a loud hoot, hoot. Who went with them?
Terrence is behind.
Terrence? Same thing happens to you, except when you try to scream in horror, all you hear is a little squeak.
Oh god.
Immediately, Alan, animal instincts overtake you. You gotta eat that mouse.
Oh my god.
Do I roll attack?
Yeah. Well, just what happens? Tell me.
Well, so I'm a stationary owl just standing on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, I think I would usually swoop in at high speed and grab with the talons. So
You gotta get some light first, though, right?
yeah, I don't think I can just nab him right now. So yeah, I'll try and take off.
Yeah, you managed to fly. Terrence, what you doing?
Looking around for a hole or a crack to jump into.
Okay. Well, what are the other guys doing?
Do we see this happen?
I think you hear it. You didn't go with them, right?
No. Just kind of
I
looking
think you
around.
hear them scream in terrible pain, and then you hear a hoot hoot and a squeak, and then just scurrying.
Yeah, I'll run over and do a perception check.
Okay.
13.
You see a fucking owl.
Alright. I'm gonna tentacle rod it if it gets close to me.
Okay. What about Quincy? What are you doing, Quincy?
Do I recognize that was
I don't think you know what happened. You don't see Alan Greenspan and you don't see Terrence. You just see like all of a sudden a scurrying on the floor and an owl beginning to take flight.
Okay. I'm probably just gonna run over there to like try to.
Balso's already there. Quincy's on his way there. Quincy, as soon as you like, you're the one farthest behind. You kind of alerted. You're like, what the fuck's going on? You begin to run. You actually begin to hear music. Like this, like soft, sorrowful sound, like violin music, just beginning to play. You run a couple more steps, and then you realize that like you can't really stop listening to the music. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, 26.
26?
Yeah.
Okay. You managed to kind of shake it off. You're like, wait, what? And you see in a corner, almost following you through the doorway, is like this ghostly visage of like this just like shadowy form, at large empty eyes, this kind of gnomish face, and you can see this like ghost just holding a violin and a bow, like holding out its hands towards you. Everybody needs to roll initiative.
Okay.
That's actually probably a good place to stop for tonight now that I think about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It'll
probably.
be an interesting but probably long fight. Well, there's an owl trying to kill a rat and then a ghost trying to kill you guys.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a silly little. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of this crawl. It's interesting, but I don't know. It requires like a lot of stuff that's just like, this just happens. Like you don't get any saves. It's just
Sure.
it's silly.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
All right, I'm glad. Well, guys, thank you for playing with me. I'll hopefully catch you next week.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for doing this at the grandma's house.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. She's been asleep since about 6 o'clock, so I have nothing to do.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
All right, see you guys.
Bye,
night, man.
Good night, dude.
Bye.